Hi everyone, today I'm just going to do a really basic tutorial on concealers. So whether it be hiding freckles, hyperpigmentation, pimples, under eye bags, I'm just doing it all today and showing you my favorite techniques and concealers. So if you're interested, then please keep watching. One of my favorite tricks, this is trick 1, is BB cream. So squirt a little bit on the back of your hand and then using your ring finger, because it's the most gentle one for the under eye area. Just pat from the inner corner there to the outer corner until it all blends in and that you don't leave any fingerprints behind. I like to always start from that inner wedge area there because it's always the darkest area. Right there where I started off. If you have trouble seeing the shadows under your eyes, tilt your chin down and look up and you'll definitely see it there. Unless you're one of the lucky few, of course. So a hint, if you're using a lighter BB cream than your skin shade, that triangle area that I indicated there, I think you should aim to blend the BB cream in that shape down your cheek a little bit rather than just the under eye area, so you don't get this swimming goggle raccoon look. Like it gives dimension to your cheeks as well as brightening your eye area. So I'm coming close to the camera to show you the freckles that rarely anyone else sees and you probably can't see there. But I pat on a light layer of BB cream just to give that luminosity to my cheeks and highlight, and also give that extra flawlessness and cover those not so obvious freckles. Missha Perfect Cover number 23 is one of the rare BB cream lines that will split shades. So this one matches my skin color a little bit better than the Skin 79, so because it's a bit darker. And in this case I can use it to spot treat a lot more conveniently. It also has a better coverage ability than the Skin 79 I was using as well. So here I'm just treating the under eye area wherever it's a little bit dark. It does have a little bit of a fragrance to it. It's not unpleasant, but I'm generally not a fan of things with too much fragrance, but it dissipates pretty fast after a couple of minutes. So we're going to move on to trick number 2, and that is with a Neutrogena Skin Clearing Blemish Concealer. It's got a little bit of salicylic acid to it. That's its claim to fame, 0.5% I think, yeah. And it's a twist dispenser through a slanted sponge tip, and I like to place it right on the peak of the redness and then slowly blot outwards in a circular motion around it so that you overlap a little bit of the healthier skin as well. And I like to just let it sit and set and dry there first before I blend the edges down, because otherwise I find that I'm kind of prone to blending away the concealer from the pimple itself. So I like to let it sit and set first. So we'll come back. Third trick is using the Sigma P82 brush. It's a dense but soft synthetic bristle brush, and what I like to do is pick up some powder mineral foundation and then dust off the excess against the lid. And the brush is almost like a fingertip precision sort of tool, and I like it to blot and blend over any discoloration. So in this case I get a lot of discoloration around my lips, so I use it almost like a coloring crayon just to clean up that area. I do want to warn you, around the lip area, for me personally anyway, it is a little bit dry, so you want to moisturize well before you apply the powder mineral foundation, otherwise it's going to crack at the end of the day. As in the makeup will crack at the end of the day and it won't look as polished. So now we're going to go back to the Neutrogena Blemish Concealer now that it's dried a little bit, and use the sponge applicator just to lightly blot out and blend the edges down to the rest of my skin there. The shade I'm using is the medium in number 15, and then finish off the blending and the blotting with your fingers. So coming in closer, I think I'm pretty happy with that. So I'm going to move on and show you the Sigma F82 brush, which is the mega version of the P82 we just used. And I'm going to dust off the excess and pick up, after picking up a little bit more of the Bare Minerals foundation, I'm going to do a combination of blotting and blending and buffing in a circular motion around my nose, which is prone to pimple scars and redness. So the buffing motion helps me fill the pores at all angles a lot more evenly, so it hides it better. So here I'm showing you the Just Pure Minerals that I bought from Etsy, a sample of the deeper Olivia shade. It's got a slight green tinge, but it's quite yellow. Why I want that, and going back to the P82 brush, why I want that green tinge is it neutralizes a little bit of the redness that's around the base of my nose without being in as much danger of having that white cast look sometimes after you use any sort of green corrector. So I think it just blends into the rest of my face really well once it settles. So here I'm using the mineral foundation to touch up any other blemish dot areas, whether it be pimples or little scars. And then we finish off with the bigger F82 brush just to diffuse that and blend into my face a little bit better so you don't get distinct like mineral foundation spots on your face. Silk Naturals is another indie company that produces mineral makeup, and it's like a translucent powder with a green tinge that helps you take the edge of the redness. So it's very, very subtle, very, very light. So again, not so much in danger of any white cast finishes if you put it onto your blemishes. And if you need even more coverage but with some correction, there's also the equalizer, which is a green tinge face powder that will also help you finish off your makeup but have a little bit of a slight green correcting coverage there as well. Again, very subtle, so you're not going to look green or white today. And of course, any spot powder mineral treatment, you should always use the bigger brush just to punch that in and blend it out. So that concludes a combination of a few techniques for just one face that I could fit on. So I'm going to use my Pond's makeup wipes to clean off the under eye area so I can show you more techniques. By the way, these wipes are super awesome. They're super gentle, even with vitamin E, but they're super powerful as well, so I recommend them. Favorite concealer is a Makeup Forever Full Cover Concealer. I use shade number 7, and a little goes a long way. So you just need a little dot on your finger, your ring finger, and start dabbing and blotting away. Lots of people like this one, so I wouldn't be surprised if you've heard of it already, but I'm going to join this bandwagon because it's you can build to a full cover. It sets really well and quite fast, and it's non-comedogenic, so it doesn't block your pores, and it's waterproof. I think part and parcel of it setting really fast is that it's a little bit sticky by nature when you're applying it, so you can't be lazy and glide it on like you might do with a BB cream. You really do need to dab and blend so that you're not dragging on your skin. With this concealer, I think you really need to moisturize the under eye area well so that you avoid the cracking, and then it works wonderful. I think with this product it's unnecessary to add another layer of powder to set. It's awesome. So for next trick, I'm going to be using the CoverGirl Olay Concealer Balm in Light Pale 330 in conjunction with the Urban Decay All Nighter Setting Spray instead of using powder to set. So spread a little bit of the spray against your finger and then lay that over your under eye area and just let it dry a little bit. Before it's completely dry, start laying on under your eyes some of the concealer balm. And what happens is the setting spray helps you set the concealer as you apply so that you can apply a second layer of the concealer on top. Otherwise, with this one, while it's a very moisturizing type of concealer that's really good for your under eye area, I find that it's really hard to build another layer of coverage on top without somehow setting it first. And you can repeat the step as many layers as you want until when you finish up that last layer of concealer, you squirt another bit of setting spray and then lay that over the last layer of the concealer. That can display some of the concealer a little bit, so you'll need to pat it down, but once it sets, it's pretty sweet. This concealer you can also use for the rest of your face because it doesn't clog your pores. So I find this setting spray method really good for eliminating the extra powder layer so that there's less another layer on top of your skin, but also any other concealers that you have trouble building coverage of but you quite like otherwise, setting spray is the way to go to help you build that coverage. I have one more tip to share with you guys, but I'm going to finish up with my BB cream first by putting a light layer on top of my cheeks again, just to make sure I've covered the little freckles and a little skin irritation I have under my eye. This last tip is optional, and that is using the Evian spring water spray. Just spritz twice on your face, don't drench yourself, and that will help you set your makeup, particularly after powder products. Or if you're touching up during the day and you've used any oil blotting paper, touched up with powder, this is good to refresh your makeup and just re-moisturize the top surface of your skin. So I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial, learned a few tricks, and I'll see you later.